All right. Well, this is a video from CLR Bruce Rivers. It's called Andrew Tate Appeal Denied. Now facing 180 days. New egregious incriminating messages. Hospital stunt. That's what I thought. I thought it was a stunt. He said he had like a little bit of a silly bowel syndrome or something. I don't know. I feel like it's all kind of a lie just to like get out of the thing. You know, Andrew Tate, like, the second that he's able to leave, he's going to go take his private jet and leave. Like, that's why he cannot be released on bail, because he will just dip. So let's see what Bruce Rivers have to say. I like Bruce Rivers. I don't know why I'm not subscribed. This guy's incredible, by the way. Okay, if you're watching this after the stream, all right, and you come across and I upload this video to YouTube, watch his video instead. I mean, I like it when you watch my commentary, but this guy's so smart. I respect this guy. He's very rational, very level-headed, a very intelligent guy. I've seen some of the things he talks about, like family a little bit here and there, talking about how you're be a good husband. It's very important. That's the thing, is that like everyday men aren't usually making a point to say like this is what it means to be a good man. And I have Andrew Tate running the narrative in very disingenuous ways. Anyway, let's go. Oh, plus, listen to this. Remix. Papa got remix. Beautiful. I love it.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Okay.
I'm Bruce Rivers, board-certified criminal defense lawyer, and I
Me too.
try cases. That's why I'm board-certified. Have the chops to go to trial. Today, we are reacting to...
And just keep in mind, like when he talks about criminal stuff, because some people love to just be like, oh, he's biased. Realistically speaking, he has something to lose if he is biased in like some kind of insane way. Like obviously, he doesn't like Andrew Tate based on based on the bad things he says. But that doesn't mean that him not liking him is ruining his ability to legally do a legal analysis on something. It's more likely that if you're more biased for Andrew Tate, if you disagree with this guy, than he is against Andrew Tate. Because he's just like, I don't like the guy, but looking at his words, this legally is bad. And you're just like, no, Andrew Tate love Andrew Tate. Yeah, that's like your whole foundation. He says good thing. Yeah, okay. He says a couple of good things. Like when self-improvement. But he doesn't need to berate women. If your self-improvement if you also talk about how much women are less than, and you think that it's kind of funny that they're losing their rights, praise historical conquerors like Genghis Khan, who stole the autonomy of women. I think he mocks women losing their ability to go to university in their countries and saying, well, they're so strong, they should fight for themselves. Thinking maybe it's not worth the limited good things you say, like take a shower. Okay? Because that is a good thing. Take a shower, clean yourself, stay well groomed, smell nice, and shoot your shot with women more. And if you get rejected, that's part of the game. That sucks. Let's also communicate to women that you can hit on guys too. Take some of the pressure off, loser.
Gift that keeps on giving, Andrew Tate. Before we get to that, this is brought to you by eSign.com. eSign.com. Let's say the cops are coming to get you and you can't get out of your house because you got 7 warrants and you got to sign a deal or a new place. Well, just have them e-sign you a document. You send it to them, you sign it remotely. You don't have to leave your house to get picked up on your warrant. You just sign that document remotely and you're good to go. It's awesome. Download the app. You get 3 free signatures a month. It's awesome. If you're doing any kind of business remotely, it's awesome. It's a way to get things done and get it done fast.
Okay.
Now, today,
I'll keep it in mind.
We are reacting to the gift that keeps on giving, which is Andrew Tate. Now, I'm getting all kinds of
Who edits this guy's videos?
flack from people saying, oh, you're just a hater. You're just a hater of Andrew Tate. He's my hero. Well, I don't care if he's your hero or not. I'm giving you a good, in-depth legal analysis. And if my own opinions kind of bleed into that a little bit because I think the guy's a pig, well, so be it. But
True.
Andrew Tate, top G, is sitting in a jail in Romania. And they initially detained him.
The country that he said, hey, I'm going to Romania because the Me Too movement's less prevalent. Buy your way out of doing bad things. And guess what? Still got arrested in a country you think is more aggressive on legal, when it comes to women and the Me Too movement. And you're getting arrested for a Me Too charge. So... so people will say, well, it's just a matrix. I say, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it's a fucking duck. What am I to tell you? Okay? It's not just the charges, what this guy said outside of that. We watched the audio clip where he was basically telling a girl that he liked it that she wasn't sexually attracted to him and didn't want to fuck him and made him want to fuck her more. That's really creepy. And then I believe he raped her.
him for 30 days. They went up on appeal to try to get that reversed, and guess what? The judge ruled against him.
Good.
The judge said, no, we're not going with your argument, and the risk of flight basically is too great. Remember he said he had 7 passports,
True.
and I can go to any country?
I have so many passports. What, you gonna block them all?
And so it's the risk of avoiding the investigation. That's what they talked
And he has a private jet.
about in the order. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means now the prosecutor can seek 180 days of detention.
They should.
Against him. And I think that will keep on going. And what that's designed to do is have a review process to see, okay, where are we at now? We don't have that in this country. You're either detained or you're not detained. You either get bail or you don't get bail. If you don't get bail, then you just sit while your case is pending.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay, that makes sense. So I know that I'm dumbing it down, but I like to dumb things down for myself. For myself too. But what he's saying is, like in America, if you go to jail no bail, you're in there until your trial comes up, I guess. Something to that along lines. Apparently in Romania, they don't do it like that. So it's like, okay, you're detained for 30 days while we review this, but this could take a long time to review. So then they can go for another 180 days as they review. Interesting that they don't. Interesting that they operate like that. I wonder why. Yeah, the has says don't self-snitch.
That's
or
really
stop self-snitching.
common in federal court. In state court, not quite as common.
I'm going to buy this guy's merch.
But in this case, he's got 6 accusers, and they are all accusing him of basically sex trafficking and rape. Now, Vice News has reported that there is a 3rd accuser of rape, and this is really interesting.
I watched the Vice thing. I never uploaded it because Vice DMCA'd me and they shut my stream down, so I couldn't really upload that. So I just see.
Because they got text messages and voicemail messages that really, really kind of describe who this guy is. So let me just read you some of this stuff. I haven't verified this because I haven't seen the messages. I'm just going to read you what they're reporting, okay? And by the way, there's no fucking Matrix. Okay, the Matrix is get me this, get me that. Bullshit. Your own words, your own actions is what's putting you where you are.
Listen, I remember seeing this, and I don't know if he took it back, but Asmongold was talking, like, compared fucking Andrew Tate to, like, MLK, saying that there was, like, a Matrix that was out there. And I understand MLK probably got fucked by the cops, but there's a difference. And the biggest is that Andrew Tate is saying these things about these women. We heard him say on an audio clip that he liked that a girl didn't want to fuck him because it made him hornier. Like, there's so many red flags on top of the charges. It's not the same thing as somebody fighting for fucking freedom, getting hit with, like, false charges where there was, like, nothing indicated that he ever did those things. They're very different things.
So, a 3rd woman in 2 weeks has come forward to accuse Tate of the misogynistic influence, blah, 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 and in which Tate appears to say, I love raping you. Now, she says, I've never been strangled before. I don't know if he's going to stop, and I was so scared. Whenever you think about that situation, you think you're going to fight back, but I'm telling you, you don't. You don't fight back, because if you fight back, what else is he going to do to you? He's a 6'3" champion kickboxer, for God's sake. Those were her words.
Yeah,
One of the ways you defend these kinds of things, and I know my detractors on this issue will talk about, well, what about this? What about that? Sure. You say, okay, well, after that, then you went back to him, right? And that's really common.
Oh, Asmongold said he was wrong about that. All right, fair enough. Thank you for telling me that. I actually do, like, genuinely appreciate that. Hey, listen, sometimes you get caught up in your own words. Okay. I appreciate you telling me that. I want to make sure that that's part of it. Hey, everybody makes some sussy mistakes sometimes, you know what I mean? He's also said he was wrong about the 50% thing. Fair enough. Okay.
For somebody who's a victim of abuse to embrace him, right? And that's really common for somebody who's a victim of abuse to embrace their abuser. And she said,
yeah, that was part of the story, because we reviewed this a little bit, but I like Bruce more anyway. Frick you, Hassan. That's a really so for her, from the way that the story seemed, is that, and this is one of the reasons why they threw the case out, is because after she was sexually assaulted by him, or raped, I guess, she continued to see him and had consensual sex with him afterwards. And they were like, well, they used that to try to make it seem like that, like, oh, well, I guess it was never sexual assault in the first place. That's not how these things work. There are multiple things that were going through her head. It's not unlike, like, one of those things, from what she said, it's something along the lines of, like, she kind of wanted to do it consensually again in a way to, like, reclaim herself. It's like, okay, well, you know what? He took it from me. I'm going to do it because I want to this time. And it's a tough mental space to be in that I hope I never understand in any true capacity. You know, that's hard, man. That's fucked. I could never imagine how difficult that would be to deal with. That's rough, man.
Said, if I go and see him again and I want it this time, then I'm not being degraded. Then it's not the R word, rape.
Yeah,
And she
that makes
explained, so
sense.
that's what I did. So that's why she went back to him. But then she eventually left. Some of the text messages that he sent are just
Yeah, she left because he wanted to go on a weekend vacation with her, and she was like, I don't know what'll happen if I do that.
remarkable, just
Yeah.
absolutely remarkable. So I woke up and I realized if I had spent the whole weekend, I might up into the hospital.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And
Sorry,
so he
she's
still
already
continued to text her after she left. He says to her, "Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I fucking love
that line by itself doesn't say that he did a crime, but it's not by itself. It's in a pattern of abuse towards women. Talking about how he treats his webcam models like or pimps treat their prostitutes. You know, playing like the lover boy angle to try to, what I would say is, groom women into doing webcam work with him. Him saying that this was his job, is to get women to fall in love with him. But him talking about like that, am I a bad person because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. That's not normal. That's not normal. And when I talked about this, I talked about this from a CNC perspective. Consensual non-consent is a fetish that people have. I have it. I'm trying to, if I'm getting too much into it, my wife and I will engage with that sometimes. But it is just a fantasy. And the second that there is actual indication I don't like it, it's done. That's different from actually being attracted to somebody who doesn't like having sex with you. That's not a fetish. That's not a fantasy. That's not a kink. That is a legitimate, like, actual issue where this person likes that they don't like it. That's different from liking the fantasy of them not liking it. Those are two wildly different things. Because the second that it's over, it's over. You should you should get turned off. You should be turned off by somebody not wanting to sleep with you. That's just a fact. You should instantly be turned off. The second anybody says I don't like this, you should done. You should get soft or dry up, whatever, depending on who it is. Because that's not that shouldn't turn you on.
love how much you hated it. It turned me on. Why am I like that? And I loved raping you, and I loved watching you let me while still debating if it's a good idea or not. When you're under my control, I do whatever I want. And that's your role model? That's the top G? Somebody who likes to beat the fuck out of women? Honestly, are you kidding me? No. Anyway, like I said, I didn't verify this, and
No, I heard I'm going to be very explicit. I heard the audio message on the segment when we talked to we looked at the Hassan thing. We heard him say that. This is verified. He said it. It was said. There are actual audio. It's hard to find, which is why I just took Hassan. Maybe, you know what? In this video,
just waiting to get to you.
I'll put Hassan's video in the description for you guys if you feel like you want to watch through that. I have my own reaction to it. But he said, oh, is it right here?
Fuck is this? These voice notes were sent by prosecutors.
The more I enjoyed it.
Cute.
Am I a bad person?
Here you go.
Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I
Verified.
fucking loved how much you hated it. Turned me on. Why am I like that? Why? I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get fucked by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather fuck? You didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to. That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this fucking planet. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't fucking pass out. Chill the fuck out. Jesus Christ. I thought you were cool. What's wrong with you?
That's insane.
It's explicitly clear she didn't want to be strangled. Again, that could be a fetish. It's not a fetish if you don't want to do it. Okay? Maybe it's considered one, but you get my point. She's expressing to him that him choking her was unwanted. And after the fact, he's not saying, oh my God, I didn't realize, I'm so sorry. What he's saying is you didn't pass out. Why are you complaining? What other red flag do you need? What else do you need to hear? What do you need to hear? What else do you need to hear from Andrew Tate to make you realize that if it was your mother, if it was your sister, he would have raped her? I'm sorry for being so explicit, but what's the woman in your life that Andrew Tate would have to interact with and abuse them the way he abuses other women for you to finally say, wow, this guy is not a bad person, or this guy is a bad person? Who is it going to take? If you don't care about women in general, do you care about your sister, your mother, your daughter? What if it was your daughter interacting with Andrew Tate? What if it was your sister? What if when your mother was younger, Andrew Tate choked her out and raped her, and then when she was trying to say, like, I didn't like this, he was like, you didn't die. So what? You didn't pass out. You didn't die. Whatever. So
what's her axe to grind? I suppose that's where the defense goes. So the defense tries to destroy somebody's credibility, but if she's got text messages that are verifiable, it is bad for him. I loved raping you. Who would say that, even if you're joking? Nobody would. And here's the thing, guys, all guys, respect women. You know, this business of I can get pussy whenever I want, I can do this. You know what? You go down a slippery slope when you do that. If you were just true blue and honestly deal with women in a good light, you're not going to have to worry about allegations like this. Especially, you know, and I've handled a lot of crim sex cases over the years.
Nefarious Acts became a member.
Hey, thank you so much for the meeting, God.
5 years, right? And in doing so, I see people who dip their toe in the water of depravity. And now, I'm not a prude. I think you can have your derelictions, you can have your fetishes and this and that. But the more it is not normal, you know, the more it is kind of a little kinky, the further down that road you can wind up going. You need something more to get you off. And one of the things he has said in his prior videos was straight up sex is boring. And he gets off on the power and the control. And you can see that in some of his speeches that he's given. And when you get into court and they start using your own words against you, text messages, videos, tweets, it creates a picture. And, you know, and what they do is they don't just have one thing that they present. The prosecution will do it brick by brick by brick. And he will be his own worst enemy. There's some breaking news that he went to the hospital, and it's unconfirmed as to why he went to the hospital. He's extremely paranoid. He talks about
I'm pretty sure he was just trying to get out of. I feel like he was just trying to get out in some way. Be like, oh, I'm in the hospital. Somebody even said that he might have cancer or something. Like, I doubt it.
He can't even go to the barbershop without renting out the whole barbershop for fear that somebody's going to kill him. Why is he that? Or is that shtick? That could be shtick too, because that could just be consumption for social media. Because I'm such a big shot, everybody wants a piece of me. Or is he ingrained so much with local mafia and organized crime and he's done so much shitty business that he's pissed so many people off? Don't know. But
maybe
he went to the hospital and don't know if he was attacked or not.
It's interesting that part of the top G lifestyle is to be able to go out and do whatever you want with your money, but then apparently, or allegedly, we don't really know, he might have to be like afraid of like the mafia. So like, how does that? You have all this money and you can't even do whatever you want with it.
But it seems like it was just a routine check. If he was attacked, a couple things could be at play. He could pay somebody to attack him so that he gets out of there, because it's easier to be in a hospital setting.
I guess this guy did that, whoever this is.
And it is in the crappy, shitty Romanian jail that he's in. Or it could be a legitimate attack. Don't know. But he did go to the hospital. I think it was more for a routine check than anything else, so I think it's probably a lot about nothing. He's been tweeting about it through he's got people doing his social media still, which is pretty active. This is just a quick update on Andrew Tate and the denial of his appeal, a new accuser, and his trip to the hospital. So we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, board-certified criminal defense lawyer. Make sure you sign up for Patreon. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, and we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
All right, maybe I'll have to get one of his hats.
Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. 23-hour lockdown, please, is at my God.